Hello there, and welcome to your English Hour. I'm Alex, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. In this episode, I have something really exciting prepared for you. We are going to learn and practice English together through a classic adventure story. Now, don't worry. We are not reading the full novel. This is a summarized version, which means it is shorter, easier to understand, and perfect for your English learning journey. The story you will hear today is called Treasure Island. Here is exactly what we will do in today's episode. First, you will listen to the story. It will be told slowly, using clear and simple words. Second, I will teach you some of the most important vocabulary from the story. I will explain each word in a very easy way, and I will give you real-life examples. And third, you will practice shadowing. That means you can pause, repeat after me, or even write down what you hear. So find a comfortable place, relax, and get ready. This is Treasure Island, told just for you, the English learner. A long time ago, in a small and quiet village near the ocean, there was a little inn called the Admiral Benbow. A young boy named Jim Hawkins lived there with his mother and father. Life at the inn was calm and simple. Not many travelers came to stay, and nothing very interesting ever happened. But one day, everything changed. An old sailor arrived at the door. He was a big man, strong and weathered. His face had a deep, old scar, and his eyes always looked worried. He did not speak much to the other guests, but every morning he climbed the hill behind the inn with a small telescope. He would stand there for hours, looking out at the sea, as if he was waiting for someone to appear on the water. He drank a lot of rum, and he sang strange old songs about pirates. These songs frightened the other people staying at the inn. His name was Billy Bones. Billy asked Jim to watch carefully for a sailor with one leg. He gave Jim a silver coin every month to help him. Jim did not know why Billy was so afraid, but he could feel that the old sailor was running away from something or someone. Then, one dark evening, a blind man came to the inn. His name was Pew, and he was even more frightening than Billy. He gave Billy something called the black spot. In the world of pirates, this was a sign of terrible danger. A warning that death was coming. Billy's face turned white with fear. A few minutes later, he fell to the floor and died. His heart had stopped from pure terror. After Billy's death, Jim and his mother opened Billy's wooden chest. They were looking for the money he owed them for his room. Inside, they found coins from many different countries. But they also found something much more valuable, a map. It was a treasure map. It showed the secret location where the famous pirate, Captain Flint, had buried his gold many years before. Jim took the map to two important men. The first was Dr. Livesey, a kind and intelligent doctor. The second was Squire Trelawney, a wealthy gentleman who owned a lot of land. Together, the three of them made a plan. They would sail across the sea and search for Captain Flint's hidden treasure. And so their great adventure began. Dr. Livesey and Squire Trelawney bought a strong and beautiful ship called the Hispaniola. It was ready for a long journey over the ocean. They also found a captain to lead the crew. His name was Captain Smollett. He was a serious man who followed rules carefully, but he was also honest and fair. Jim was invited to join the crew as a cabin boy. He had never been on a ship before, and he felt very proud and excited to be part of such a big adventure. One of the men on the ship was Long John Silver. He was the ship's cook. He had only one leg, and he walked using a wooden crutch. But despite this, he moved quickly and easily. He was friendly, clever, and full of funny stories about the sea. He always had a big smile on his face, and on his shoulder sat a green parrot that constantly shouted, "Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!" At first, everyone liked Long John Silver. He told jokes. He helped the crew, and he seemed like a good man. But soon, Jim discovered a horrible secret. One afternoon, Jim was hiding inside a large barrel on the ship. While he was hiding there, he heard Silver talking quietly with some of the other sailors. Jim listened carefully, and his blood turned cold. He learned that Silver and many of the crew were not honest sailors at all. They were pirates. They had a dark plan. They would wait patiently until the treasure was found. Then they would attack the honest men, take control of the ship, and keep all the gold for themselves. Jim was terrified, but he stayed very quiet. He did not move. He listened to every word. Later, when it was safe, he ran to tell Captain Smollett and the loyal men what he had heard. Now they knew the truth. Many of the crew were dangerous enemies. They had to be extremely careful and prepare to defend themselves. After many days of sailing across the open sea, the Hispaniola finally reached Treasure Island. The island was green, wild, and strangely quiet. It had tall trees, rocky hills, and secret caves hidden in the forest. It looked peaceful, but Jim and his friends knew that danger was waiting for them. Some of the crew went to the island immediately. Jim went with them, but soon he wandered away from the group and walked alone into the thick forest. While he was exploring, he met a strange man named Ben Gunn. Ben had once been a pirate, but his crew had left him alone on the island. He had lived there for 3 long years, eating only berries and whatever goats he could catch. Ben was a little odd in his behavior, but he was gentle and kind. He told Jim an amazing secret. He had already found Captain Flint's treasure, and he had moved it to a safe hiding place inside a cave. Ben promised to help Jim and the honest men, but only if they agreed to take him back to England when the adventure was over. Meanwhile, things on the island were getting worse. Long John Silver and the pirates took control of the Hispaniola. They also demanded the treasure map. But Captain Smollett, Dr. Livesey, Squire Trelawney, and the loyal crew moved into an old wooden house on the island. They used it as a fort to stay safe and to fight back. Soon, the battle between the two groups began. The pirates attacked the wooden house with guns and swords. They tried to steal the map and defeat the honest men, but the loyal crew was brave, smart, and strong. They defended the house and refused to give up. Then Jim did something incredibly brave. He found a small round boat on the shore. He used it to quietly row back to the Hispaniola at night. There, he fought a dangerous pirate alone, and he won. He took control of the ship and sailed it to a hidden cove, far away from the pirates. Later, Jim returned to the wooden house and told his friends what he had done. Together, they continued fighting against Silver and his men. Silver tried to act friendly again. He pretended to change sides to save himself, but Jim and the others no longer trusted him. Finally, the pirates used the map and went to the place where they believed the treasure was buried. They dug and dug with their hands and shovels, but they found nothing. The treasure was gone. They had been tricked. They did not know that Ben Gunn had already found the gold and hidden it safely in his cave. Some pirates gave up and ran into the forest, never to be seen again. Others were too weak and injured to keep fighting. In the end, the honest men had won. They were tired and wounded, but they were safe, and now at last they knew where the real treasure was. They followed Ben Gunn to the cave, and there it was, gold, silver, beautiful jewels, and coins from every corner of the world. There was more treasure than they had ever dreamed of. It was so much that they had to carry it back to the ship in many trips. They were finally ready to leave the island. A few pirates were left behind on the empty island. Some had died in the fighting, and others had escaped into the forest. Long John Silver was still with the honest men. He had helped them a few times, but he had also lied to them and tricked them many times. Then, one night, while everyone was sleeping, Silver quietly disappeared. He took one small bag of coins with him and was never seen again. The ship sailed back to England. Jim and his friends returned home safely, and now they were rich. But Jim felt different inside. He had been on a true adventure. He had seen danger, greed, and death. He had learned about courage, loyalty, and friendship. He was no longer just a young boy from a quiet village. He had become a man. Now let's go over some of the best vocabulary from today's pirate adventure. These words will help you understand stories better, and they will help you sound more natural when you speak English too. I will say the word, explain it simply, give you a real-life example, and then we will practice it together. Shadowing time. Are you ready? Great! Let's begin 1. By the sea, this means near the ocean or next to the coast. Example, they built a beautiful house by the sea. Now repeat after me. They lived by the sea. The village was by the sea. Good job too. In an inn is a small hotel, often old, quiet, and cozy. Example, we stayed at a lovely little inn during our holiday. Now repeat this one. Let's rest at an inn. The inn was warm and friendly. Great 3. Rough. When someone looks rough, it means they look tough, wild, or not clean and tidy. Example, the traveler looked rough, with dirty clothes and long hair. Now, Repeat after me. He looked rough and strong. That man has a rough voice. Well done. Point 4. Scar. A scar is a mark that stays on your skin after a cut or injury heals. Example: she has a small scar on her hand from cooking. Now, repeat this one. He had a scar on his face. Good job. 5. Nervous means you feel worried or afraid that something bad might happen. Example: I always feel nervous before a job interview. Now, repeat this one. Jim looked nervous. She felt nervous before her exam. Perfect. Point 6. Watching for someone. This means waiting and looking carefully to see if a person is coming. Example: my mother stood at the door, watching for my brother to come home. Now, repeat this one. He was watching for danger. Excellent. 7. Keep an eye out. This means to watch carefully, to pay attention, to be alert. Example: please keep an eye out for my keys. I always lose them. Now, repeat this one. Keep an eye out for trouble. Great job. 8. Pale. If someone is pale, their skin looks very white, usually because of fear, shock, or sickness. Example: he went pale when he heard the bad news. Now, repeat this one. Billy looked pale and afraid. Very good. 9. Collapse. To collapse means to fall down suddenly, often because of fear, pain, or extreme tiredness. Example: the runner collapsed at the end of the marathon. Now repeat this one. He collapsed on the floor. Good. Point 10. His heart gave out. This means his heart stopped working, usually because of extreme fear, shock, or old age. Example: he was so frightened that his heart gave out. Now, repeat this one. The old man was so scared his heart gave out. Well done. 11. Adventure. An adventure is an exciting and sometimes dangerous journey or experience. Example: traveling across the desert was the biggest adventure of my life. Now, repeat this one. That was an amazing adventure. Perfect. Pot 12. Voyage. A voyage is a long trip, especially by ship or boat. Example: the voyage across the Atlantic Ocean took 2 weeks. Now repeat this one. We went on a long voyage. Excellent. 13. Strict means someone who follows rules very carefully and expects others to do the same. Example: my boss is very strict, but he is also fair. Now repeat this one. The captain was strict but honest. Good job. Point 14. Take over. To take over means to take control of something, often by force. Example: the rebels tried to take over the government building. Now, repeat this one. The pirates wanted to take over the ship. Great. 15. Right away. This means immediately, without waiting. Example: the doctor said I needed to come right away. Now repeat this one. Please answer me right away. Very good. 16. Wander. To wander means to walk around without a clear direction or purpose. Example: we wandered through the old streets of the city. Now, repeat this one. Jim wandered into the forest. Good. 17. Odd means strange, unusual, or a little weird. Example: his behavior was a bit odd yesterday. Now, repeat this one. Ben Gunn was a little odd but kind. Well done. 18. Demand. To demand means to ask for something in a strong, forceful way. Example: the customer demanded to speak to the manager. Now repeat this one. The pirates demanded the treasure map. Excellent. 19. Defend. To defend means to protect yourself or others from an attack. Example: the soldiers worked hard to defend their country. Now, repeat this one. They had to defend the wooden house. Perfect. Point 20. Disappear. To disappear means to go away suddenly, so that no one can see or find you. Example: my keys always seem to disappear when I need them. Now, repeat this one. Silver disappeared in the night. Good job. And there you have it. Your vocabulary adventure is complete. This is how your English becomes stronger, step by step, word by word, story by story. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. I'm here to help you every single episode. I'm Alex, and this is your English Hour. Keep listening, keep shadowing, and keep believing in yourself. See you next time. Bye for now.